First-person shooters are without a doubt one of the dominant genres in gaming. It's molded the way we play online and takes a player closer to the action unlike anything else. For the last 16 years, I've played a countless number of these incredible first-person shooters on over 4 generations of consoles. Looking back on it, I thought it'd be fun to share with you my treasured games from this ever-so-growing category. This is Mr. Saints Godzilla 21, and today we'll be looking at my top 5 favorite FPS games. Today's top 5 is suggested by Thesupersaintsfactor, and unlike the other top 5s I post, this one will be from my personal selection of beloved games. With that in mind, let's get started. The game with a truly accurate title, Halo Combat Evolved, was the shooter that took us to the next level of FPS gaming. I remember just falling in love with its beautiful levels, gameplay, and its defined analog stick controls. The previous first-person shooters I played didn't yet perfect the 2 analog stick aiming, and that's probably why so many players got hooked to Halo. But not only that, the story was astounding. There's so many moments throughout the campaign that stand out on their own from other FPS games, like the ending run, just classic. Playing with 3 other friends in a variety of game modes was also immensely fun, but it wouldn't be until much later that I'd play Halo on the PC and fall in love with its 16-player online multiplayer.
Running riot.
Wake up and smell the ashes.
I'm probably going to be ripped a new one for putting this game so low on the list, but the thing is, I didn't have a chance to play this game until long after its release and overwhelming praise. I understand it's a great game, but many of the mechanics that wowed everyone had aged 7 years by the time I had the chance to play it for myself. The gameplay and story, on the other hand, are still just as majestic as ever. Unlike many other first-person shooters, the outcome of a battle may rely on strategy rather than brute force. Being able to manipulate objects in the environment thanks to the game's physics also makes for exciting moments that adds to your strategic choice. Another feature unlike other first-person shooters are the puzzles you need to complete in order to move through the levels. Again, being able to move objects made solving puzzles a lot more fun. The variety of weapons you obtain and the enemies you encounter, plus a mixture of objectives from each level, also keep the gameplay constantly fresh. So I hope you understand that I do love this game, but you have to admit it has aged some... What? Ow! Hey! Ow! 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 Oh geez, how am I going to explain this one? So okay, before Call of Duty became the disgusting abomination that it is today, I actually liked one of their games. Modern Warfare was the first Call of Duty game I had the chance to play, and the second game I ever played on the Xbox 360. I would become overstimulated with its vast arsenal, gameplay, and visuals. I fell in love with moments of fighting swarms of enemies, firing the AC-130 and the grenade launcher attached to the helicopter. But you can't talk about a Call of Duty game without mentioning its multiplayer. The 360 was the first time I was introduced to online play, so it was an indescribable feeling the first time I joined a full 16-player online warzone. I became hooked on leveling up, unlocking new weapons, gadgets, and perks. Nothing felt as satisfying as getting a kill streak and calling in a helicopter or airstrike. Going back to it after all these years, it's still just as fun to play.
Thanks.
For number 2, I had no choice but to place both Timesplitters 2 and Timesplitters Future Perfect here. To me, both these games are equally great and both make up a majority of my childhood. Timesplitters 2 happens to be the first FPS I ever played and would be the game I'd go to even to this day. Future Perfect was basically the updated version of Timesplitters 2 and it would be the game my friends and I would constantly play, even more so than Halo. Being centered around time travel, both games use this to their advantage and have a variety of maps, weapons, and characters that extend over hundreds of time periods. One moment you could be a secret spy in Siberia, and the next you can be a detective fighting the mob in Old Chicago. Before the advent of online multiplayers, Timesplitters had the ingenious idea to have AI and LAN party gameplay. So unlike the other split-screen first-person shooters at the time, Timesplitters gave the player the option to fight against AI enemies rather than only each other. Both games also offer a mixture of addictive challenges that offer bronze, silver, and gold trophies. The higher level trophy you earn for the challenge, the more unique of a character you would unlock. Even with all the features these two games offer, what separates them from any other first-person shooter is the map maker. I have yet to play any game with a map maker as in-depth as this. You can create virtually anything from a simple deathmatch, team objectives, and Future Perfect even added the option to make single-player missions. For a console game, I'm still astonished by this feature. Overall, there's honestly no more you can ask for in these games. They present essentially anything your imagination can come up with.
And they must love the smell of green.
When I look back on every FPS I've played, none others had a larger impact on my life than Halo 3. It was the first game I ever played on the Xbox 360 and would be my introduction to the world of online gaming. The game's graphics, sounds, and of course its gameplay was absolute perfection. Much like Halo 1, its campaign was alluring and brought back that classic feel that was partially missing from Halo 2. Fighting the Scarabs, the dogfights with the Hornets, and the ultimate final run were all magnificent. And if that wasn't enough, I remember geeking out the first time I stumbled onto the new Forge mode and the ability to rewatch previous games in the theater. But without a doubt, the online multiplayer was what truly made me fall in love with this game. Until then, I've never even heard of Xbox Live. I had no idea that it would completely change the way I'd play games forever. I made friends that I still play with to this day, and I can't even tell you the countless hours I would spend with people in custom games and levels. It was absolutely magical and nothing could ever compare to it. And that is why Halo 3 is my all-time favorite first-person shooter. So there you have my top 5 favorite first-person shooters. If you'd like to share your favorite FPS game or suggest a top 5, please leave a comment below. Like always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.